All right, everybody, gonna go through 3 review problems with counting atoms before you take your Friday exit ticket. If you're not feeling super confident on this just yet, don't worry, it's okay. You are gonna have more practice with it. I just need to make sure I'm giving you like a formative grade every week. I'll let you retake this, all that good stuff if you're not happy with your grade. I just kind of want to see where everybody's at. So let's go through these review questions. I boiled down the notes into like 5 steps, and I put them on the side over here so we could like just look at them while we're solving these problems. So let's start with this first one all the way on the left, 10H2O. So my first step is to identify the coefficient. Well, I know the coefficient is the big number in front, so the coefficient in this case is 10. All right, so everything in this whole molecule is going to be affected by this 10. Now I want to put a box around the molecule, so I remember that everything gets multiplied by 10. So there we go. Great. And now I want to go to my chart. Step 3, identify what atoms are present. Okay, so I see I'm starting with a capital H. There's definitely some H atoms. After that, I see a capital O. There's definitely some O atoms. And that's all I've got. So next, draw arrows. All right. So let's see. I know that this 10 is going to go to the H, and it's going to go to the O. Arrow, sorry. And when I multiply that out for H, I would do 10 times 2 equals 20. Great. And for O, I would do 10 times 1 equals 10. Right? Because when there's no subscript after an atom, I know that none means 1, so it's just this 10 multiplied by the 1 H2O that's there. So let's move on to the second review problem. Going to go through these steps just the same way I did before. Step 1, identify the coefficient. In this problem, I see the big number in front of my molecule is a 2, right? Coefficient is 2. I can even highlight my coefficients so you guys can really tell. Coefficient is 2. All right, so that means everything in this molecule is going to be affected by the 2. Put a little box around it so I don't forget. I know that this 2, this highlighted coefficient, is going to go to everything in the box. All right, let's figure out just exactly what atoms we're working with. So I see a capital K, that's for potassium, great. The next letter I see is a capital P, no lowercase after it, so it must just be P for phosphorus. And then I see a capital O, again with nothing else after it, so it must just be for oxygen. So I'm looking at K, P, and O, or potassium, phosphorus, and oxygen. And let's figure that out. Now I've identified my atoms. Great. Time to draw arrows. Okay. So I know that this 2 is going to K. I know that it's going to P. And I know that it's going to O. All right, it's going to all 3. Not just 1, it's going to all 3. So when I do K, I'm going to do 2 multiplied by 3 gives me 6. And I did that because coefficient 2 multiplied by subscript 3 gives me 6 total. Next up, let's do P. I know I've got coefficient 2 multiplied by no subscript. None means 1. That gives me 2. All right, and what about O? I've got a coefficient of 2, subscript of 2. So 2 times 2 equals 4 oxygen atoms. All right, last problem here. Step 1, identify the coefficient. I see that there is no coefficient here, so I'm going to treat that just like it's a 1. I'm going to treat that just like it's a 1, and I'm going to put a box around the molecule. All right, so time to identify my atoms. I see I've got capital N to start, and it's got a lowercase a after it. So capital N, lowercase a. And I know that that is only, like, that's one atom, right? That's not like capital N, capital A is two separate elements. It's Na. That's because that A is lowercase. Then next thing I see, I've got a capital O, nothing after it. I've got a capital H, nothing after it. All right, so I don't really have arrows to draw for this one because it's just 1 for my coefficient, so it doesn't really matter. Like anything multiplied by 1 is just itself, right? So for Na, I see I have no subscript, so Na is just going to be 1. For O, I see I've got a subscript of 2 outside of these parentheses, so that's going to be 2, because this 2 talks to both the O and the H. And same will be true for H. That 2 on the outside of the parentheses, that subscript 2, is going to go to the O and to the H. So hopefully this helps you out a bit. Let me know if you have any other questions. Again, don't stress about the formative assessment. It's really just so I can see where everybody's at.